Hi guys, how you doing? So I got a scarf on because I got hit by a cold. Um, I just want to talk to you about my education. Not gonna go into lot of details right now, but we are at the part of the first semester where we are doing some exams, and we have these workshops. Now, when I was in the 20-week education, you'd have 1 hour, maximum 1 hour of pensum a week, and you would have 3 weeks of each subject. Here, we have between 10 and 12 weeks of the same subject and three subjects at a time. So, right now, I have computer science, I have sales, in Danish afsætning and in Danish informatik, and then I have English. And now in what I did before that was 20 weeks. This is what they call the Studie year, because one full year where we're doing this before we go out and work in internships. But the education part of the government, Undervisningsministeriet, decided let's go and control them more. Yay. One of the new things for them is that we don't have I'm getting hairs in my hand, one pensum a week, but we actually have to have 5 hours in total of each subject. So right now I have um, one subject class, what we call workshops, per day, and then Wednesdays we actually have two. And I really find that annoying because with the other education part I was used to, you would just listen to them, ask the teacher questions if you needed any, get any help, whatever. And then you go and you study it yourself. You read the things, you do your assignment, you send it in that week, moving on kind of thing. But here we are obliged, I think we have to be in these workshops. Each workshop is 2.5 hours. Now, it doesn't sound too bad unless the teacher keeps on talking about heavy stuff without us being able to do much, so kind of brain dead, falling asleep. Or if you were like me right now, have exams to do. Right now, I have an exam paper. I need to program an app and write a paper about it, a report about it. That's in one class. Then I have my second class in sales. There I have an assignment for this week. And this is what my subject of this whole video is about. Because usually I despise when the government goes in on things because they do it so general and so inconvenient. Whether you are neurodivergent like myself with ADHD, among other things, or not, that we said yes to education so we could go and do other things, whether you had kids yet to take to daycare or you had family so you could only study in the evening. And then they go and tell you, no, actually, we have these times of the day that you have to go to the workshop. If you don't, you'll be registered. You would be registered as absent. If you do that too much, you'll get off the education. And I'm like, so you're trying to make this online education fit for people that can't go on normal educations with a normal education. You see the problem, right? However, there's also a good side to that. That was the annoying side, that we can't just go on to focus on it. Also, if you have a big project for that week in one of the subjects, but the two other subjects don't, then those 10 hours of the other subjects' workshops feel like kind of a waste of time because you're just sitting there focusing your brain on that subject you had to work on that. Um, but the good side to this is I have technically 2 weeks to do this exam project in computer science. However, because of different situations I could not fully control, and yeah, all sorts of bibbly babbly books, then I have only been able to do a bit. So I've probably done 3 days worth of work and not a full week, which means that right now it's Wednesday. I am technically halfway to a week of time that I'm behind or that I've lost in working on this project. So it won't be as detailed as I was hoping, which is fair enough, but annoying. But so I've been focusing on that while being sick and trying to feel better and so on. And I'm at home, so of course I have to look after the house, the husband, the dog, myself, and that. So there's all a lot of balls up in the air. But then I have an assignment this week, not last week, but this last week I had an English assignment on top of the computer science exam thing. Then this week I have within sales, and within sales, what do you call it? I have to do this thing where it's about the 4 P's, something where it's price, production, not production, yeah, production, promotion, and placement. Production, was that the right word? Production. Oh, I'm getting in doubt. I'm just going to find my document. I'm getting all in doubt. Yeah. Oh, product. Product. It's product, price, promotion, and placement of the things. And in the start, I was reading the thing. It's actually quite simple. A assignment. I'll just try to find it. 2 seconds. One, I have to read about this company, then make a kind of a question of what if. It could be a positive or a negative. Then I have to analyze it from what do you call it? The different things we've models and theories and that we've used in the past in this subject. I have to analyze it and then analyze the company and answer what my question was in the first thing. And then after that, I have to get a perspective of it from one of my other assignments I've made earlier. That is what I have to do in the big general. My problem was I did not understand that, because the way that I find so much in this education and generally with people when it comes to professional and what do you call it, official and that, is the way they phrase things makes your brain turn. It is so confusing. And she wants us to do this because that's an assignment we might get for the exam. And I'm like, oh, pancakes. Like, oh no, like, this is heavy stuff. And it is heavy stuff, like she says. It is heavy stuff, but it's not something that's going to take more than 1 to 3 pages to write. So I shouldn't do too much of it. But it was hard for me to start because of that computer science. I felt so heavy on that, trying to figure out how to program the app, trying to figure out how to write in the report and that, and I'm sick and I'm still very, very tired after the holiday because it did not go 100% as planned. It was not the holiday, but the trip home was very stressful for me. And then I just could not figure out this assignment in sales. And I was like, how do I do it? And so we had this workshop, which is the last one of this week in sales. And there she actually, where you can just ask questions. It's one of those, there's not really any wrong questions, bad questions kind of thing. So I asked, like, could she formulate it differently? She's like, no, unfortunately, but how about this or that? And that helped me because compared to what I kept on reading on the text, and you know how you can read something again and again, so you kind of just, what do you call it, read yourself blind. There's a Danish expression for that actually called stirre sig blind. Literal translation is stare yourself blind. I don't know if that's also English expression, but it fits me very well because sometimes I can stare at something 5-10 times and I still don't get it. And that was how it was with this assignment. And it frustrated me because I have till Sunday to deliver this assignment and the one in computer science. So it's not like I have a lot of time. And I have other things that I also have limited time to do also, which will take a lot of mental capacity. So it's a lot of that with figuring out what can I handle and that. And as I said, I'm very tired, so it's not easy. But so with this one, I asked her, and the way she said it suddenly clicked to me like, right, we've had that in the subject. The thing was, I had forgotten some of the words, or some of the theory words, what do you call it? In Danish, it's fagbegreber, basically the words you use in that kind of subject. because of course each subject have their own different kind of names and that. Like even computer science have their own 4Ps, but they are different from sales 4Ps and so on. Anyway, my point of this whole 10-minute chat was so that even though it's something that's frustrating to have these workshops because you rather work on something, then I've also realized how having other students talk about it and the teacher talk about it helps me click to understand it. So instead of I'm reading three tasks I have to do, and I'm getting all stressed and frustrated in that, and in a sense, I should write to my SPS and say it. She's one that the government's given to help me because of ADHD and so on. Then at the same time, it was like, well, if you could formulate a different way to understand it. And my teacher did, because I went to that workshop. She did. So I went from 3-4 days being like, to now I've written the first assignment part of those three, and I'm starting on the second, but I needed a computer break, so I haven't done more than that. But it's like, yes, if I can finish that within the next hour or two and full focus on my computer science project, yes, then I have the rest of this week to only focus on that. And just realizing how much help that not having that 1 hour pensum like we used to have, but actually having this workshop is really lovely. It really has helped me a lot. However, Danish government, please do it that we can decide and we don't get that absence theme stuff, because it's very stressful and it's not helpful if you have signed for education where you get to control your hours and so much yourself. Then this is not helpful. It's more frustrating. Having teachers to come there for those that need it, that's great. But having that it's something everyone has to do, that's just stupid. Then you almost might as well just go to school, even though I do know some can't do it, because with this education you can technically live anywhere in the world as long as you register a Danish citizen, I believe it is, or something like that. So there are those kind of holes in it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a bit of an insight to my education, and yeah, just tell you my laptop needs to recharge, so I gotta go. But I hope that was interesting. If you want to know more about my education, then comment. If you like this video, press the like button. And if you find this is interesting, then follow. Subscribe to me down here somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, so half Danish, half English, living in Denmark. See ya.